When the faint light of dusk yielded to the deep shadows stretching down the corridors of the labyrinth, a shiver ran down my spine. Still bearing the marks of my inner dragon's awakening, I, Ren Kael, sensed that something new and unsettling was stirring in the shadows of this ancient place. The air thrummed with an almost tangible energy, and distant whispers, like echoes of a forgotten past, beckoned with revelations that would challenge everything I believed about the celestial cult of shadows. Kira and I walked down a side corridor, a path we had never explored before. The walls, damp and worn by time, were covered in intricate inscriptions, symbols and runes that blended mysticism with almost mechanical precision, as if recording ancient and technological knowledge simultaneously. Each step I took made my heart pound harder, not merely from fear of the unknown, but from the sense that we were on the verge of unearthing a long-buried secret. As we pressed onward, my thoughts wavered between the guilt of a past I couldn't erase and the hope that these revelations might finally give me direction. The necklace I always wore, my mother's legacy, throbbed against my chest in a quickening pulse, as if responding to the energy permeating the corridor. Kira, her gaze sharp and determination unwavering, broke my reverie. Ren, do you feel it too? As if the very stone is whispering secrets. I nodded silently, knowing this was more than mere imagination. Turning a corner, I spotted a massive stone door, its surface carved with scenes of pain and sacrifice. It felt as though this door marked the threshold between the world we knew and the hidden truth of the cult's origin. With ragged breath, I reached out and touched the cold, rough surface. In an instant, a wave of images and sensations flooded my mind. Glimpses of ancient rituals, of warriors who sacrificed themselves for a greater cause, and of a celestial god whose essence seemed to blend light and shadow inextricably. Pulling my hand away, I felt the necklace intensify its glow, a sign that this was the path to understanding a legacy long kept secret. Kira squeezed my hand in a silent gesture of support, and together we pushed the door. It groaned slowly, as if protesting the breaking of a millennia-old vow.
Quick tip to level up your experience. Read Manhwas and light novels for free. Listen to epic audiobooks. Watch unlimited anime. Play cloud games with no console. And stream the best anime soundtracks. Check the description now and grab your free trials.
On the other side, we were greeted by an immense chamber bathed in a soft light emanating from crystals embedded in the walls. The air held a serene warmth, a stark contrast to the biting cold of the outer corridors. At the center of the room, stone altars supported ornate pillars, and every inch of that space seemed imbued with a power that transcended time. As my eyes took in the details of the chamber, I was seized by a sense of déjà vu, as though, in some inexplicable way, I had lived this moment in a past life. Among the altars, I noticed figures who seemed to belong to another era. One of them, a man whose gaze was weary yet filled with wisdom, approached with slow, deliberate steps. His name was Heijin, an exile among the ancient disciples of the cult, his skin marked by time and his words heavy with untold secrets. I am Heijin, and I come from a time when the secrets of the celestial god were still whispered in the shadows, he said in a deep voice that seemed to reverberate off the chamber walls. I stared at him, my distrust tempered by insatiable curiosity. So, Heijin, what do you know about this place? I asked, striving to keep the anxiety that consumed me in check. He smiled sadly and pointed to the central altar where an object lay wrapped in black velvet. With careful hands, he removed the cloth to reveal an ancient grimoire, its yellowed pages filled with symbols that defied logic and understanding. This grimoire contains the true history of the cult and the celestial god, Heijin explained, a legacy of light and shadow, of sacrifices and rebirths. As I turned the fragile pages, I felt each word resonate with a forgotten part of myself, awakening memories and emotions I had long tried to suppress. It was impossible not to be moved by the weight of every letter, as if this book were the key not only to understanding the cult's origin, but also my own destiny. Kira, always pragmatic, stepped forward to examine the carvings on the walls encircling the altar. Look, these inscriptions describe rites of passage and the union of the chosen, she remarked, her eyes gleaming with a mix of fear and fascination. Heijin nodded slowly. These texts were written by those who believed that to transcend the human condition, one must embrace both light and darkness. The celestial god, in truth, is not a being of pure benevolence, but a reflection of cosmic balance, he declared, pausing to let his words sink into our minds. I felt torn. Part of me wanted to reject the burden of knowing too much, of carrying a legacy that felt more like a weight than a blessing, while the other part, awakened by the power of my inner dragon, hungered for answers. "If this is the price of knowledge, I am willing to pay it," I confessed, my voice laden with a sincerity I seldom allowed myself. Kira exchanged a look with me, equal parts admiration and caution. We knew every revelation carried its price, and that truth was often far crueler than ignorance. Heijin then delved deeper into the grimoire's narrative, explaining that the cult had been founded in ages past by those who believed in the union of the sacred and the profane. According to him, the celestial god was not a conventional deity but an entity transcending notions of good and evil, its essence granting followers unimaginable power, powers that, if misused, could lead to utter ruin. As I listened, I felt the weight of responsibility settle on my shoulders. My necklace, which had long been a symbol of rejection and pain, was revealing itself as a conduit to this ancient power, a living link between my destiny and the cult's deepest mysteries. Each word from Heijin allowed me to glimpse a future where my transformation would be not only physical but profoundly spiritual. Yet with that revelation came tormenting doubt. Was I truly prepared to bear such a burden? Tension peaked when, suddenly, the chamber seemed to tremble. A guttural sound, like the very earth groaning, filled the space. From the depths of a side corridor, images sprang to life on the walls, fleeting visions of forgotten rituals, desperate sacrifices, and a past as dark as it was powerful. Amid the cacophony of memories, one figure stood apart. It was Sora, the guardian of the ancient records, her presence forever cloaked in mystery and reverence. Draped in a mantle that shifted between silver radiance and the deepest shadows, she advanced with measured steps, her gaze piercing straight into my soul. "You dare to unveil the secrets that so many have chosen to bury?" Her voice boomed like a controlled thunder, causing the ground beneath our feet to tremble. I felt a wave of anguish mingled with a strange sense of relief. At last, the answers I'd sought stood before me, but not without a cost. "Sora, I do not fear what is to come," I replied, striving to conceal the restlessness coursing through my veins, even as I knew my words were little more than an echo of my inner struggle. She stepped closer, her eyes locked onto mine, and continued. "The true power lies not merely in knowing secrets, but in accepting the responsibility of bearing them. The grimoire you now hold is the inheritance of those who dared to confront darkness itself. But remember, every answer uncovers new questions, and each revelation may be the beginning of an even greater burden." As Sora spoke, I felt an internal transformation. My necklace vibrated intensely, as if responding to the energy emanating from her words. Kira, standing beside me, squeezed my hand, offering the silent comfort of her presence. After the verbal confrontation with Sora, the chamber seemed to settle into silence. The holographic images that had filled the walls faded away, leaving only the gentle glow of the crystals and the carved inscriptions. Sora stepped back, allowing a calm stillness to take hold, but her gaze remained locked on me, as though she sought to etch the truth she had just revealed into my very soul. "Ren Kael, you now have the choice to embrace this truth or to flee from it. But know that once these secrets are unveiled, there is no return to ignorance," she said, her serenity contrasting sharply with the intensity of what we had just witnessed. I touched the grimoire again, feeling its cold pages and the faint pulse of energy that seemed to synchronize with my heartbeat. "I am not the hero you expected me to be, but I cannot deny the responsibility entrusted to me," I confessed, my voice heavy with newly discovered determination. Kira, her eyes reflecting both strength and vulnerability, murmured, "Every secret has its price, Ren. But it is also the key to transcending everything that binds us." In that moment, I realized that unveiling these ancient secrets was more than a mere discovery. It was the beginning of a new phase in our journey, where the knowledge of the past would serve as the foundation for the battles yet to come. I felt that by accepting this truth, I was not only evolving, but also drawing closer to the power that would allow me to rewrite my destiny. When the chamber filled with the soft light of dawn filtering through the cracks in the walls, I emerged transformed. The grimoire now rested in my hands like a sacred burden, its knowledge pulsing within me. As I walked through the now silent corridors, I felt the weight of ancestral secrets mingling with the hope of a future where truth could finally be wielded to forge a new path for the celestial cult of shadows. Each step taken here reminds me that true power is born from confronting one's own darkness, I thought, as Kira and I walked forward, hand in hand, toward the labyrinth's exit. The guardian Sora left us with one final warning. Knowledge, however liberating, always comes with immense challenges. And in that moment, as the sun began to rise on the horizon, I knew our journey was only just beginning. The legacy of ancient secrets now pulsed through my veins, and the truth about the celestial god, its origin, its sacrifices, and the duality of light and shadow, would be the key to the new era I was destined to usher in. With my heart heavy from the weight of responsibility and my mind teeming with possibilities, I pressed onward, aware that each revelation would bring not only answers but new questions. And so, between shadow and light, the determination within me was reborn, to transform the legacy imposed upon me into the foundation of a destiny truly my own.
Did you enjoy the video? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps us know which stories you love most and which ones we should prioritize in future productions. Your support is essential for us to keep bringing you the best manhwa content every day. See you in the next episode.